Hello everybody, welcome to the JavaScript course. In this video, I'm going to discuss the drag events. So for drag events, there are a number of related events. So I would like to talk about the first group, which involves dragstart, drag and dragend events. And then I'm going to tell you another group of drag events called dragenter, dragleave, dragover, and drop events. And then I would like to discuss the dataTransfer property of drag events. In this property, we have the getData and the setData methods that are commonly used for this property. Now, let us see the HTML file first. The HTML file has a number of elements. First, I have a title here. And then I want to link my HTML file to a CSS file. So I have to say the link here, and the CSS file is called styles.css, shown here. And in the body part, I would like to have some elements, some headings, for example, some paragraphs again. And I would like to make some colored divisions like this one. Okay. So in order for me to demonstrate the drag events, I have to make sure that the element is draggable. So I have to consider this situation. If an element is not draggable by default like a division, I have to say draggable equals true in the HTML file. So in order for me to make a colored division draggable, I have to say draggable equals true. Okay. But for images, links, and selected text, they are draggable by default. That means I don't need to do this step if I want to handle the drag events on these kinds of elements. Okay. And after that, I have some divisions, and the divisions would show some response due to the drag event. And then for the second part here, I would like to have a table, and the table has some table data. And for the table data, they are not draggable by default. That's why I have to say draggable equals true for a particular table data. Okay. So I would like to link my HTML file to a JavaScript file. The file is called myscript.js, which is put in the JS folder. Okay. So this is the HTML file that I'm going to use. And let us go to the CSS file. The CSS file tries to color or decorate my elements that are shown on the HTML file. Okay, so for area 1, it means this pink area, and for the table data and the table itself, they have these configurations. Okay, and for the cell 1 here, cell 1 means a particular table data. Okay, and I just highlighted with yellow. And for the rectangle, it means this dotted rectangle. Okay. And now let us go to the JavaScript file. In order for me to use the strict mode, I have to say use strict on the first line of the JavaScript file. And then let's start our discussion. So I would like to talk about the first group of events called dragstart, drag, and dragend. So the meaning of dragstart is that when we click on the element and then we drag that element, then we have initiated a dragstart action. And for the drag event, it just means that we hold the mouse button and then we drag the element. And for the dragend event, it means that we release the mouse button. So I would like to demonstrate these three events by using an example. Suppose I've already picked up the area 1 together with the two texts, which are just the divisions below the pink division. Okay, area 1 refers to the pink area, and text 1 and text 2 are just the divisions below the pink division. Okay. And for my area 1, that means the pink area here, I would like to add 3 event listeners. And the events are just dragstart, drag, and dragend. And for each of the events, I would like to have different functions to handle them. Okay. So let me try to show the content of the three functions called show drag start, show drag, and show drag end. Okay, the first function is called show drag start. So when the drag start event has been initiated, I can just show the in HTML of a certain division as follows: drag started. And for the show drag event, I just show the second division to have this kind of text content called dragging now. And for the drag end event, I want to say that the drag has been complete. That means it is already ended for the first division. And for the second division, I want to show an empty string. So let us try to see the result. Save. Reload. So let us see if I want to play with the pink area. So when I tried to drag the pink area, it says drag started. And when I'm dragging it, it says dragging now. Okay. So I'm trying to release my mouse button. Then you can see that the drag has been complete and it says drag ended. So you can see that for the show drag end function, it means that the drag has been ended already. Okay. And for the drag start and the drag events, you can see that they can be responded accordingly. Okay. So these are the three fundamental drag events that we can use to describe the dragging action. Okay. The next group of drag events is called dragenter, dragleave, dragover, and drop. So when a dragging element has entered a certain region or division or another element, we say that the dragenter event has been triggered. On the other hand, if a certain element that is being dragged is leaving an element, then we say that the dragleave event has been initiated. And for the dragover event, it means that a certain element has been put on top of another element. And for the drop event, it means that the mouse button is released after you have dragged over some element. That means you want to put something on top of the other element, and you just complete the whole dragging action. So let us see an example about the four dragging actions. Suppose I have the cells and the divisions as here. Cell 1 means the first box on a table, and cell 2 is meaning another table data on the table, and text 3 and text 4 are just meaning the two divisions underneath the table that are not shown for now. Okay. And then I want to drag the yellow component to the white component. That means I want to drag the yellow element until it reaches the white part or the transparent part. Okay. So in this case, cell 2 is actually our drop target. And then when I want to demonstrate these four events, I can set up four functions called show drag enter, show drag leave, show drag over, and show drop on my cell 2. Okay. So the action starts from my cell 1, which is the yellow region, but the event listener has to listen to the following four drag events: drag enter, drag leave, drag over, and drop. So let us see how we can handle these four events on the transparent cell. Also for my cell 1, which is the yellow region, I have to see whether the drag has been ended. So I have to show another function called show drag end 2 to address the drag event happening on the yellow region. So I'm going to show you all these five functions together. Okay, for the first function called show drag enter, I want to see that whether the yellow area has been able to enter the transparent region. So if that's the case, I want to say that the yellow area enters the cell. The cell means the transparent cell, which is the second cell on the table. So when the drag is able to enter the cell on the right, it means that the dragenter event is initiated. Okay, so for another dragleave event, it wants to see whether the yellow region has left its original place or not. So if that's the case, I want to say yellow area leaves the cell. The cell means the original cell painted in yellow, okay? And for show dragover event here, I want to see whether the yellow area is on the transparent cell or not. If that's the case, I can say yellow area is above the cell if the yellow area is already put on top of the transparent region. Here I have to say something about the prevent default function. We have to say event.prevent default before I say the statement shown here. The reason is like this. The default action actually disallows dropping on another element. That means I'm not able to do the dropping by default. So in order for me to really do the dropping or really allow the dropping, I have to prevent the default action so that I can allow the dropping to be done. So we can try to comment this statement out to see the effect later on. So suppose I don't comment it out for now, and I will be able to see the dragover function to be working later. And for the show drop event here, it means that I want to make the original cell called my cell1 to be transparent, and the cell2, which is the cell on the right hand side, to become yellow. That means visually we have really dragged the yellow part to the transparent part. That means the left cell becomes transparent while the right cell becomes yellow. Okay, and I have to say movement complete after that. And for show dragend2 function, which is happening on my cell1, that is the cell on the left hand side, we have to say drag ended. That means if the drag action is really ended, the division wants to tell the user that is this the case. Okay, so let us try to run the program. Save, reload. So I'm trying to do the dragging. So I try to press the yellow region and I do the dragging. So you can see that the yellow area is trying to be placed on top of the transparent region. So you can see that the yellow area enters the cell and the yellow area is really above the cell. Okay. So when I put my cursor away from the right cell, you can see that the yellow area leaves the cell. And since my action is not complete by holding my mouse button, the yellow area is still treated as being above the cell. So how about I release my button right now? You can see that the drag has been ended. That means I can show the statement right here, okay? But how about the situation when I really put the yellow part on top of the transparent region? Let us see. You can see that the movement is really complete. That means I'm able to do the dropping, okay? And the drag has been ended because I really released my mouse button, okay? Now let us try to comment this sentence out, event.prevent default, to see the effect if I don't do the prevention of the default action. So let me try to run the whole program again. Save, reload. So I do the dragging. So this part is still the same. That part is still the same. But when I do the dropping on top of the transparent region, you can see that the yellow area leaves the cell, which is not the case. And you can see that the yellow area is still on the left hand side, even though I did the dropping already. The reason is like this. The default action disallows dropping on another element. That's why when I want to do the dropping, I have to make sure that the prevent default function has been called, okay, so that I'm able to do the dropping completely. When the dropping is done, I can show the show drop function content completely, okay. So that is the important idea to take a look. We have to prevent the default action when we do the dragging over, okay? The next part is called data transfer. Data transfer is something like this. All the drag events have this data transfer property, and that property is trying to store the data being dragged. So in order for me to use the data transfer property, we can make use of the two built-in methods. One is called getData, and we have to put a type on the argument of the function. And for the setData function, I have to put the type together with the data. So what is the type? The type just means the type of your data. So we have three types actually. Text plain means we just want to put the plain text into the data transfer property. And for the text HTML here, it means that I'm going to put the HTML content on the data transfer property. And for text and URI list, it means that I want to put a hyperlink on the data transfer property. And here for data here, meaning the second argument of the setData function, it means that the data is in the form of a string, okay? So we can put some string as the data that is going to be set on the data transfer property, okay? So let us go to this example. I have a sentence here and a rectangle here. So I'm trying to refer to this one. The sentence has an ID called sentence, and this division has an ID called rectangle. So I'm going to drag this sentence into the division, and we will see the data transfer property to be involved. So how can it be involved? Now you can see that I have set up some event listeners. So for the dragstart event, I have an event listener to the sentence, okay? So for this element, I have an event listener to take care of the dragstart action. So when the drag is started on this sentence, I'm going to do something like this. I want to go to the event object. So the event object is passed to the argument of the anonymous function. And then I want to use the data transfer property. And then I use the setData method for that data transfer property. And then I just want to set the event target ID to the data transfer property. And of course, this type is of text type, okay? So in this case, the data transfer property is able to obtain the ID of that paragraph, okay? And then after I have got the target ID of that element, I can do something next. I want to see whether the rectangle has the element called sentence being dragged over. If that is the case, I want to just prevent the default actions. The meaning of the prevention is that default action would disallow the dropping of an element on another one. So in this situation, if I don't prevent the default action, the rectangle doesn't allow the sentence to be dropped onto, okay? So the sentence cannot even be dragged on the rectangle. That's why I have to say prevent default here, so that I can make the dragging happen, okay? And if the dragging is allowed, the rectangle can have an event listener to take care of the dropping action. So it means that the paragraph can be really dropped onto the rectangle by releasing the mouse button following the mouse dragging action, okay? So if the rectangle feels the sentence dropping, what can the rectangle do? The rectangle needs to allow that element to be placed into it, okay? So the process of doing the placement is like this. I want to get the paragraph ID first. So the paragraph ID is already saved in the data transfer property. So the idea to get the ID back is to use the getData method, okay? That is a method pertaining to the data transfer property, okay? So of course, the event target ID is of text type, so I use text plain here as the type of the getData method to use. And then the data is storing the element ID that I want to do the dragging, okay? And after that, I want to just put the ID into the getElementById method, and then I can just get the whole DOM element back, and the element is saved in the source variable, okay? And after that, I just want to append the DOM element into the inner part of the rectangle. So when I go back to the index.html file, I can see that the rectangle is already given here. So I used a division to represent a rectangle. And when I want to append child, it means that I want to just put the DOM element called source into the inner division of this division, okay? So the source will be put somewhere here, which is just inside the division that represents the rectangle, okay? So by doing the append child method, the paragraph can be placed into the dashed rectangle, okay? And we have to notice something here. The append child method would help us remove the original node element. That means here, the original element, which is a paragraph, will be removed at this place, okay? So after the dropping action, that sentence will just disappear, and this sentence will be placed in the inside of the rectangle. So that is the feature of the append child method, to help us just remove the original element, okay? In this case, this sentence will be gone, and it will be just placed inside the rectangle, okay? So let us see the result. Save. Reload. So let me try to do the dragging. So when I start the dragging, the dragstart event will be triggered, and the event target ID will be remembered. And when I do the dragging over, I have prevented the default action. That's why I can allow the dragging over action to be done on the rectangle. So let me try to drop the element. Okay, you can see that the element can be dropped. So this drop event can be triggered. And in that case, the source here is already obtained from the dataTransfer property, okay? And the source here is going to be appended to the rectangle. That's why you can see that the rectangle has a new element inside. This element is just put into this place, which is just representing the inner division of the rectangle division, okay? So we can see that the dragging action can be done in this case. So we can just use the dataTransfer property to remember the data being dragged, and then after the dragging, I can just use the getData method of the dataTransfer property to obtain that ID. From the ID, I can get back the DOM element, and I can just do the append child method on that element, so that the rectangle has the source element inside, okay? So this video has already talked about so many things about drag events. We have discussed the dragstart, drag, and dragend method, okay? So these methods can help us handle the fundamental dragging action. Also, we have discussed another group of drag events called dragenter, dragleave, dragover, and drop. So they can help us handle a bit more complex dragging actions, okay? Also, we have discussed the dataTransfer property of the drag events, okay? So the drag events have a property called dataTransfer, and the dataTransfer property has two commonly used methods. One is called the getData method, and the other one is called the setData method. The getData method needs a type to recognize the data type being dragged, and the setData needs the type and the data itself, okay? So the data can be just in the form of a string, and for the type here, we have three types to consider: the plain text, the HTML, and the URI list representing the hyperlink. And then we can use the append child method to just insert a certain DOM element into another position. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, please leave your questions on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.